Hi, welcome to Chicks and Salsa, everyone. Thank you for joining us. To my right, I got Candy,
Hello,
um,
everybody.
who gets to sleep in her own bed in 2 weeks over a weekend. And of course, the hostess with the mostest, Miss Kari Johnson, Chiefs Chicks. What's up?
What's up, ladies?
How are you guys?
Well, we're under a winter warning, weather warning. We're
Hmm.
supposed to get up to anywhere from 4 to 10 inches. I mean, there's so
Hello.
many things that I go there with my brain, but um, it's not snowing very much right now. It was supposed to start
Oh,
at 4, so I don't know if Mother Nature doesn't have her watch on or what. But we're supposed to have where it's can affect travel tomorrow, and lots of schools are already canceling because most all the schools in this area are rural. So getting down dirt roads and up hills are not easy.
right. Well, and they do the same thing in Charlotte too, because there's a lot. Like, I don't know if y'all knew this, but it's called Uptown Charlotte, Downtown Charlotte, because it's like on a hill, and so to get there, you have to go like up and down hills to get into Uptown Charlotte, and the crux of up downtown Charlotte is downhill, and we
Well,
got really tall skyscrapers.
so the Ozark Mountains is where I live, and we are the oldest mountain range in the United States or in North America. We're
Uh-huh.
even older than the Appalachian, and the reason why it looks more like hills than mountains is because of all the erosion. Fun little fact. But yeah, we recently went to Branson, which is in further south, and you're literally going down hills and like this. And I'm like, there is no way anyone could pay me to be a bus driver during the winter down here or
So,
during the
Carrie,
summer. But
Carrie,
yeah,
if you went to Branson, did you go see the little ballparks of that have they're the replica ballparks of the big stadium?
no,
Stadium?
we went down for like one night, but we're planning on a little getaway because we found this awesome little place,
Hmm.
and we're gonna go stay back there again. But it was nice just not to be here where we were easily accessible by everybody. So
Because I think Little Leagues play there, and I
Hey,
think
JB.
they play in a little replica park. One is like of Wrigley, one's of Detroit, one's of Camden Yards. Like it was just really interesting. They were building it the last time we were there. We haven't been there in a number of years, but
well, I need to go look for it
yeah,
for
because it's
sure.
So, just so everybody has a quick little update, we all like the three of us know this, but for our viewers, Megan is at the combine with the rest of Sideline Sports, and they are representing us well. Keep up the good work, JB, Eric, of course, the Queen of Hoop, and John, everybody who's up there. We appreciate you guys for going out there, and we hope you have a great time and get home safely. Um,
Absolutely.
yes.
And we wanted to just do a quick. So I'm in Charlotte, if people didn't know. And last week, if you follow MLS, we are aware of, like you heard, I'm sure you heard about what happened with Antoine Walks. He was in a random boating accident last week, and he died. He was 25 years old. And the first season, he was drafted in the Charlotte FC expansion draft, and he started in 21 of 23 games. His best friend, on the game and in life, I'm sorry, I forgot Khalif. He's just been like, he's had a hard time with it because they were best friends. They would FaceTime each other for everything. Um, if Walks, like, basically, like, if Walks needed to like be a little more serious, he would FaceTime Khalif. If Khalif needed to like get a little more light and focus on a little more positivity, and this is a synopsis of a quote that he said, he would FaceTime, um he would FaceTime the each they would just FaceTime each other and get positivity and light reality checks, and just be good to each other. And that's what a friend does. His impact was greatly felt by the Charlotte area community. And we do wish you, we, Antoine, rest in peace. Like your impact, it was short in the Charlotte area, but it was long lasting and long reaching. So, and thank you, ladies, for letting me do that. Now, on to other items, and I kind of messed up a little bit. Oops. I put our. I'm a dork. Okay, so let's go to Candy's Corner. That is the name of what we're giving Candy now. Candy's Corner, because she goes everywhere, so it's fun.
Yeah, we were trying to debate whether we were going to name it "Where in the World is Candy" or "Candy's Corner."
Dun, 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 dun. Sorry.
No, you're.
I thought that was my cue. Sorry.
So last weekend, we were in Daytona because we were previewing a race that's coming up this weekend. And this weekend it's called the 24 Hours of Daytona. And it's formally, and it's going to be called the 2023 Rolex 24 at Daytona. And the reason being is the winners all get Rolexes. Wouldn't that be nice?
I can win.
Can you get me a Rolex?
I wish. I don't get a Rolex, but it's an endurance sports car race that's sanctioned by IMSA, which is the International Motor Sports Association. The event's held at Daytona's International Speedway. It combines the road course with the oval. So they're doing both. The track goes on both. It takes them, and which is really kind of cool. Like we were watching them doing like test runs and stuff like that. And unfortunately, Saturday night it rained hard. So some of the cars didn't get out there. But it's crazy because it's a team of 4 drivers for each car. There is 61 cars in the race. And it's funny because there's 4 or 5 different classes of cars. So they're each racing in they're amongst themselves, but also with everybody else on the track. So there's like 4 or 5 different types of cars even on the track, which is way cool, really different. And the fact that it's on Daytona, partway on the racetrack, and the steepness of the oval is just crazy. Like when you're watching it on TV, you don't understand how much it's banked on the sides. I'm like, wow, how does the car? I'm like, okay, that's because they're going so fast. That's how they can, do that.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of cool. And I'm really excited because they literally race for 24 hours. So it starts Saturday at 2 and ends Sunday at 2. And they have all little like criterias. And so one car driver can't drive more than 4 hours in a 6-hour period. We were talking to one of the drivers and he's like, well, my eyes aren't as good because I'm a little older, so it's hard for me to drive the nighttime shifts, so I'm going to drive more of the daytime shifts. And I just thought it was really kind of interesting to think of 4 guys in one vehicle over a 24-hour period getting in the car, out of the car, racing amongst other teams. So I'm really excited because we're going to be there this weekend.
That always so much fun for you.
Yes.
That's interesting. So they have teams of racers, not like how NASCAR has teams, but they all race against each other at the same time. This is one group of people race one vehicle, right?
So there's a team of 4 race drivers in the team, and they have one vehicle. And that vehicle for 24 hours is racing with 61 other vehicles. I know, it's crazy. And they have 5 different types of cars out of that 61. So there's so many out of one tour type class. They have actually some new cars this year. And this is the first in their season. So like, how NFL started back in, September, and baseball is gearing up. Racing starts this weekend is the first actual race for their season.
Yeah, and that was fun because on you got to do that. And I actually had a NASCAR event on Friday night too.
Yes.
So I was actually asked by our good friend Fago White Franklin the third of New Stitch Media to cover the NASCAR Hall of Fame induction ceremony here in Charlotte, because that's where the NASCAR Hall of Fame is. And y'all, I was so close to Richard Petty, the king of racing. And I don't know if you girls remember him when y'all were younger or not, but like my family never really watched a lot of racing, like just wasn't our cup of tea. But I even remember watching him drive, and Dale Sr., obviously. Like, and just knowing like the man in black was the man to beat, you know? And that, like, I was so close. Like, I was so close, but he had to go to the facilities, I think. So I didn't go up. I didn't want to interrupt that. So
My grandparents watched 2 races. The one that's on Memorial Day weekend, isn't that in Indianapolis?
Charlotte.
Indy 500.
Indy 500,
Oh.
and then the Daytona race. Those are the 2 races we always watched. And I was working at Gateway Computers. I sold computers when they had the stores. The night that, and we had the race being played on our monitors in our oval circle there. So we were watching the race and watched Dale hit and wreck. And we closed the store because my manager, it was really later in our day anyway, but my manager was a huge NASCAR guy. And so he was like beside himself, and we just closed down the store and sat and watched the coverage for a while, because it was just so, yeah, that's one of those things that, you kind of remember regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But isn't the Indianapolis 500 a Formula One race?
It is. It's not the NASCAR series.
Right. Yeah. Because they have another race in Charlotte that some of the drivers will do both.
Yep.
Yeah. And I agree, Matt. Matt Kenseth was very well deserving. I'm writing an article. I haven't finished it yet. It was really cool because I got to hear Herschel McGriff tell a really cool story. And I'll let you know when I finish writing the article. Sorry, Fago, I know I'm late. But they
there you go, tattling on yourself.
I know. Well, I'm not telling him something he doesn't know. I kind of email it to him. Huh?
I'm like, I'm gonna tattle on myself. You probably already know this, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. That's how I.
Yeah, you already know I screwed up. I'm sorry, dude. I was not feeling well this weekend. And that's no excuse, but it was a great time. I know Candy had a great time. Mm-hmm. Kari, we got to go to this one because I like this title too that I came up with. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring in my friend, mine and Candy's friend, and a friend of our show. Kari, I don't know if you've met him, but this is Louis Trebone of the Enchanted Sports Show. And so we've just been catching up a little bit. Louis, how are you tonight, sir? Oh, can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Oh, I think you're muted. Maybe.
Can't hear you, Louis.
Can you hear us, Louis? Okay, so the microphone is just really low. If you can hear us, your microphone's low. Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and ask Miss Kari to give us an update on the Patrick. Kari is the Patrick Whisperer.
Oh, yes, right.
So Kari, Louis, yes. Just so you know, Kari is the Chiefs chick, so she knows all things KC.
They're my ride. So I've been paying attention. I was paying attention kind of to some things that were coming across. He has a high ankle sprain, so fortunately for him, it was not a break, as what we saw in the Dallas and Niners game. But high ankle sprain, and the reason why they call, I found out some things tonight because learning's always something. It's that muscle are right there at the top of your joint, and it can run up your leg. So the pull and strain can run up your leg. And they said that the way he fell and the way he was twisted is really intriguing that he didn't have any knee injury out of the situation. But that being said, they did flash up something that I found was really interesting is Patrick, even in the pocket, not stepping out of the pocket like we want and enjoy watching him play, he ranks number 2 in 3 of the categories that they rate quarterbacks by. 2 by standing in the pocket. So he may or may not be practicing tomorrow. Andy's release yesterday was not sure if he'll be at the if he'll show up or he'll be practicing on Wednesday, but he has zero doubt that Patrick will be there for our Sunday's game. So I love the fact, though, that I heard, in the press conferences and even in the locker room, that men love Chad and they will do anything for Chad. So he has their buy-in as well. So I don't feel like we're going to fall apart as far as what we put on the field. I think it's going to come down to last team that has the possession is what it basically is going to boil down to is my theory on this. And so whoever has the game ball or the ball at the end of the game is going to be the winner.
That's what you think too, Lewis?
By any means. I mean, I see this as a high intense game, a lot of offensive scoring. So I gotta agree. The last team of the ball is gonna win. It's gonna be that kind of a game, and I don't think it's gonna be a blowout with the other game either between the 49ers and the Eagles. That's gonna be a high contested game as well.
I think we know Will. He's working on it. Thank you. And we I don't know. I think this weekend's going to be interesting. I got to go with what some of my Eagles friends, Rob, don't hurt me when you hear me say this, but have the Eagles really impressed that much in the second half? Have they increased what they've been doing? I haven't been following them as much, but I know
Did you watch the game Saturday?
I wasn't feeling that well, and I may have snoozed through it, Kari.
I watched. That's okay. That team.
I mean, it was the Giants. Come on, sorry, JB, we love you, but it was the Giants.
But it wasn't. I don't think it mattered who was going to play that game they played against, because that was the same Eagles team that was at the beginning of the season, not the one that we've seen in recent weeks. So it was really, really intense. It was very much all across all three teams, aspects of the team. They were back. They were back to playing and gelling as a team and really on it. I think that it was a blowout because it was a Giants. I think that up against the 49ers, it's going to be a really well-fought team. I do think that the Eagles can pull this one off because they game manage really well.
They can, if Brock Purdy, as the performance that he's been having, I think that they could come away with a win here. So everything depends on that. Who would have thought a third-string quarterback, though, would be able to take his team to the playoffs and possibly get one game away to the Super Bowl?
Exactly.
Third-string quarterback.
Well, and I think any quarterback's going to look really good in that 49ers offense. I mean, seriously, you got 3 running backs there who are pretty much the same guy. And I don't give that compliment loosely or easily because I am a Christian McCaffrey girl. I own 2 jerseys. One is Steve Smith, and it doesn't have the senior. It's the original Steve Smith jersey. And I have the Christian McCaffrey jersey. So, but for me to give that, I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I agree with you, Kari. I worry about the defense or the Eagles holding up in the second half just because it's what we've seen.
But this game was not. They showed up on the second half. That's what I'm saying. It was phenomenal. It was a fun game to watch because my team wasn't being slaughtered. Well, I mean that helps, but my team wasn't the one being beat either. So that team that showed up Saturday night would be scary at the Super Bowl. Didn't matter who's going up against them. I hope it. would love to have a Kelsey versus Kelsey, but we'll see, time will tell. And I'm not stressed about Saturday or Sunday's game. Keep
Yeah.
saying Saturday. I'm not stressed. I hope it's a close game. But Bengals don't scare me. Joe Cool doesn't scare me.
The Bengals did surprise me, and I thought it was really interesting. And Lewis, I'd like your take, yours too, Candy, on what happened after the Bills game with Stephon Diggs grabbing all his stuff, storming out of the locker room, and he's on the practice squad running back had to go get him and bring him back to the locker room.
And he didn't even stay around then.
No.
A sore loser. Nobody expected this. I mean, Buffalo, it's cold, it's snowing. You think it's their advantage. And, Buffalo hardly loses a game at home, except for they play the Super Bowl. But, they felt good all year, but they just choked. I mean, Cincinnati was just too powerful. I mean, I thought they were going to have a Super Bowl hangover this year and not do anything good at all. But they have surprised everybody, and they have surprised a lot of Buffalo fans out there. And I know one in particular who was not particularly happy about that.
Oh, I know a couple.
Yeah, but one I'm very close to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And honestly, Candy, what's your take on it?
You train a whole season. You train during the off season. And the one thing in the NFL is you play one game and you lose one game and you're done. It's not like a series like in baseball or even basketball where you have a series and you're playing, it's one game and you're done. It's 4 quarters and you're done. It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes if your team not only loses, but loses badly. It wasn't like it was close.
It was not. I mean, there was.
You're at home, you're favored, and then to go out like that, his emotions got the best of him. I mean, I'd rather he do it like that and just take his things. He's not hurting anybody. He's not, you got to take your frustrations out somewhere. And I hate to say it. Yeah. Us as media people blow things sometimes a little out of proportion, or we don't see things from their side.
Right.
So, I mean,
and that's why I like our show, because I think we bring that empathetic viewpoint also.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
and I think it's sooner than 5 years. Well,
imagine listening all preseason, all football season, that, hey, you guys are the ones that are going to Super Bowl. You're going to Super Bowl. And by the end of the second quarter, at halftime, we really knew they weren't even making it to the championship game. So this man has stood on a field the last 3 years, watching his hopes, his dreams, his aspirations be denied. And I promise you, I would be upset too. I appreciate the fact that he didn't turn around and push a photographer. We saw someone do that in the AFC already. We didn't see him lash out at any other player. We didn't see a yelling match between the two. He did have words with Allen, but it was, hey, I have words with my supervisor. I have words with my coworkers, and then I move on. I mean, sometimes you need to be able to say, what is the issue? Here's my perspective, and then move on. So I don't knock that, but we didn't see him lash out at anybody. He just said, I'm getting my stuff and I'm heading home. I'm heading to my safety area, to where I feel safe, that I can let go of all of this pent up frustration. Right. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I think he handled it probably the best way he could. And I would applaud that. I wonder how long he's going to stay there.
Yeah, I do too. And
because
here's the thing.
He has a limited shelf life.
I'm fine with him having words with Josh Allen. That's understandable. But we can't knock Dak Prescott for doing the same thing last week.
Right.
I mean, and all of us did that. We were doing it on
But Dak was a
Show too.
scolding, not in a I don't know the way that the way that we saw the way Dak was, and it may have been the camera angle as opposed to the way we saw Stefan and Allen talking. The man was sitting down and Dak was talking down to him.
Right.
The other two men were eye to eye.
Valid.
That makes it.
Allen broke the eyesight.
You know, keep me if you have words with me and if you want to have a discussion and it's not going to be necessarily pretty, do not speak down to me because I'm not going to take it very well. But if you speak to me eye to eye, whether we're sitting down or whether we're standing up, as long as it's eye to eye, you're not insinuating you're my superior. I'm sitting down, you're standing up, you're implying you're my superior and you're not. It's not going to go well unless you are actually in that position. And I may or may not listen to you very well because you're trying to do a power play on me.
True that.
So that's where it seemed different to me is because both men were at eye level or, speaking as close to eye level as possible. Does that make it right? No.
No, but, and that was my thing. Like, I feel like we've got to play even Stevens, and I'm fine with people having words because it happens.
Well, that's a lot of emotion out there.
You would be surprised if they didn't. Come on, you have
right.
You have to show your passion that you are playing the game you want to play. You want to excel. You want everybody on your team to excel because you want to keep moving forward. If you didn't have passion, I'd have a problem with should you still be on the field playing.
Right,
Anyone have a sibling? Anyone have a sibling?
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So they call the team a lot of time their family.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There is none of my siblings have I not had words with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's just be real.
Especially in a competition.
I haven't had words with my brother-in-law. He's probably would have had words with me more than once, but so let's so what do we think is going to happen this coming week? So we have the Chiefs playing Cincy. Who's going to win, Kari?
Oh no, Cincy plays in Kansas City. You said it backwards. No, you said the Chiefs playing Cincy.
I said the Chiefs playing Cincy.
Oh, playing. I was like, we don't play in Cincy.
No, it's like it's an Arrowhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to win?
So I told you I'm not scared. I've been getting gruff from many people, including someone that's wanting me to tell him who's the underdog. Don't know there's an underdog. I think it's evenly matched teams. I do think that we are giving a little bit of an edge being we're at home. I'm not so sure it wouldn't have been better on Patrick now that he has an injury to play in the dome without the cold weather. I think we're going to pull it off because at some point it's only been a one-score game every time in the last 3 games. So at some point, the law of nature or the law of averages is going to fall out somewhere. I'm not holding out hope. I'm just know the Chiefs are going to do well.
Lewis?
I do think it's going to be a highly close game, especially if Mahomes is going to play, which he say he's going to because his injury is healed up. And if Kelsey can stay in game 2, I think they're going to have a chance to beat the Bengals. It's going to be a close game regardless, but I think the game will happen in the end.
Yeah.
By a three-point game.
Okay. I think that's what Will said too. Well, just so you know, Lewis, Will is one of our contributors on Sideline Sports and kind of like a little brother to me. He and I have known each other since the Hornets came back to Charlotte. All right, Candy, what are you thinking? And by the way, your Jags did really well, and you need to be proud of what they've done this season.
Oh, I am. I am absolutely proud of the Jags, and I think they're going to be a force to reckon with, in the future.
Absolutely.
As well. So what do I think about this game? This game's tough because this game is going to be close. I really think it does depend on how mobile Patrick is and how well he can move around and play. I think if he plays and he really shouldn't be, I think since he could take this, I think it'll be close. I think if Mahomes can move around and stuff like that, I think Kansas City. But I do think that if Mahomes sits and doesn't play or goes out early, I think Cincy's they're on a one track. They're out for revenge. They want to go to the Super Bowl. They remember the taste last year. They want it all. So I think they could, if Mahomes isn't really good and ready, I think they could take it. But if Mahomes is good, I think they'll take it in a close one by 3.
Kelsey's going to be the pivotal for no. He was the first person that Chad threw to, and he is Mahomes' safety net. So Kelsey's going to be pivotal.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think Kari? And I know we got to go fast. I'm sorry, we're over a little bit, and I know Candy has another show. But do you think Kari that Chad, if called upon, can be the Bengals? I kind of do too. Plus, I think it would
Here's
help
why,
because they
because
don't have any tape.
Because he has complete buy-in of the locker room, and the man has played one series this entire
Right.
season.
Exactly. Lewis, you think Chad will get it? Candy?
No, I don't know. I really worry about that one. I think Cincy,
Okay.
if Chad goes.
All right. So, and I'm really undecided because Cincy and Rams like switch. Like the Rams should have been having the this season, not Cincy. Cincy should be having the Rams season, with the his Super Bowl hangover. That kind of did a role reversal there.
Remember that Cincy's O-line, while they didn't have any problem,
they were hurt.
They have
at the end.
2 subs in the O-line, and while they did very well in Buffalo, I don't think Buffalo showed up for half of the game, the first half of the game. I don't think their team there was no cohesiveness there. We watched it.
Correct.
I think that our pass rush defense with 2 newbies on the line are gonna cause some havoc. I don't think that Burrow is going to have the pocket long.
Right. Okay. Now, real quick, Candy, 49ers, Eagles. Come on, have my back, baby.
I think as much as it's such a good story, as Mr. Irrelevant, third string quarterback, I think Jalen Hurts going to take it. I think the Eagles are going to take it. They're at home. They're playing with a lot of motivation. Not that San Francisco isn't playing good. Don't get me wrong. They are. They beat Dallas. I hate to say this, but I said before, Dallas is a wishy-washy team. You depend on who shows up. Are they a fumble team? Are they
that last play?
The ball.
Last play was just stupid. Alton and I looked at each other and we're like, really?
Yeah. I think
He said on first take yesterday morning they should have just kneeled the ball. I think it was Playmaker even said, why wouldn't they just kneel the ball? They were going to, at that point, just kneel down. If you're going to play something stupid, just kneel down instead.
Yeah. All right, Lewis, what do you think?
It's on Brock's shoulders here. If he can carry this team, they're going to win it. So I think they can see an upset with the 49ers over the Eagles.
Yeah. I actually agree with Lewis. I do think there's going to be an upset.
If y'all think I'm crazy,
our 49ers is a true system. You can stick a quarterback in as long as they're willing to listen and be coached, then they can succeed.
Exactly. So everybody's like, yeah. They're always trying to get rid of Jimmy G, and I'm like, oh my God, just shut up. Get rid of Trey Lance instead. He's been hurt more than he's played. Hey,
just for the record, I am not rooting for the 49ers.
For the record, Jeremy, you better have mine and Lewis's back and go for the 49ers. Kari, you know what? I'm done with you. All right, whatever. I'm going to mute you. All right. All right, Lewis, I would love for you to tell everybody where they can find you on your show, because I know you post on our page a lot, and Candy and I have both been guests on your show, which we appreciate.
Thank you for coming. The name of the show is Enhanced Sports Show. We're on Saturdays, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Kari, I don't know where your area is, so think of like the East Coast here. We have a wide range of sports topics: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, you name it, we got it. The number to call is 512-543-4662. And then again, 512-543-4662. We're on stream right now. We're also on the Try 29 TV app. That's right. I've gone to television now. Oh boy.
No, you're doing a great job. Lewis's show, it's 2 hours, and I'm not gonna lie. I've told Lewis this before. I don't do really long shows. I can't, but honestly, Lewis's is like so free flowing. I mean, I thought it was pretty well done. I mean, it's different than any of ours, but like he covers a lot of topics. Everybody gets a turn to speak. It's great. Lewis, I'm looking for the number in our personal chat so I can like post it on here, but I can't find it. Sorry, that's why I keep looking away.
I posted your site on Thursday, so look for
Yeah.
Kari, you're welcome to come too.
Kari. He said you're welcome to come on too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, Candy, come back to the show as well.
We will.
Hey, Lewis, Candy has literally not been home on the weekends in what, 12 weeks?
It's been something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like in 2 weeks, she gets to be at home, and that weekend she's sleeping. I'm making her sleep. And if her husband texts me during that time period, I'm going to ignore him out so he sleeps too.
Right.
Lewis,
Just so you know.
Lewis, I'm covering the Rolex 24, which is a motorsports race. It's 24 hours racing, constant from 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon to 2 p.m. Sunday.
Hey man, isn't there another race that does that in the spring?
They do this 12 hours of Sebring in Florida. Here is a road course that they do, and they say that's actually one of the most grueling because that's on an old 1940s airport runway and strip, and they haven't changed it, and it's all the old. So they said that that's really hard on the car and on the drivers. But this is the Rolex 24, so this will be interesting. It's our first time covering this race.
I think there's another race that's in the spring or summer, and they do a 24-hour race as well. Not in the States, though. It's out in
I think it's the Le Mans. The Le Mans.
That's it.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
And I'm going to interrupt real quick. I actually agree with you. I think it gives Jordan, I think it gives the Chiefs more fuel. So I agree with what your point is there. And Jeremy, I was not a fan of that quarterback draft class either. If Jacob is listening, then he's going to hear me say, I thought Justin Fields was completely overrated as well. Hashtag just saying. Boo, boo, boo. That's just one girl's opinion. Okay. Now, Kari, tell everybody where they can find you, madam.
Well, you can always find me on Chiefs Chick, Chiefs Chicks 87 on Twitter. You can find me hanging out at Kari Johnson on Facebook. You can message me, hit me up. Got ideas, things to cover. Would love to hear from you. You can also find me in a football world. Where else? Chicks and Salt or Three Chicks in a Pod website. What else? I think that's about it right now.
Running your mouth all over Facebook unless you're in Facebook jail.
Well, sometimes a girl has an opinion.
You're a girl, you're not allowed to, and you're in Missouri, you're breaking the law right now. You only have one layer of clothes on your upper body. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but the GOP in Missouri had passed a law last week saying that women have to wear 3 layers of clothes.
Yeah, you can't have bare arms in Missouri.
Sorry, in your case, it's 3 to 5.
It's actually in the legislature, but still the most weird. Never mind.
Kari, Lewis is talking to you.
In your case, it's 3 to 5 Central, where you are.
His show.
3 yeah.
I didn't.
His show. He wants you to come on, and it's
Absolutely.
3 to 5 Central. Your
Okay.
time on Saturdays.
All right, we'll see what we can get done.
Okay,
And
Facebook as well.
it's a lot of fun, Kari. It really is. I think Candy and I both enjoyed ourselves. Lewis, we have Megan on bed rest this weekend because she's at the All Sports Combine this week. So this girl is getting like 2 hours of sleep. So I'm putting her on bed rest this weekend, just so you know.
Wait, now who is it again?
Megan, the Queen of Hoops. She's our other host.
Right.
And then Miss Candy, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find us at Tribune South. We have a website, www.southfloridatribune.com. You can email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. If you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can see us after the show. We are going to go to Inside the Pigskin. We are on South Florida Tribune YouTube channel. We're on YouTube. Subscribe there. We're on Scott Morgan Roth. We'll be posting on his Facebook page the show as we go live, because we also use StreamYard. So join us. That we have all kinds of different shows, but tonight it'll be Inside the Pigskin.
Yes, and definitely follow all of us on 3 Chicks in a Pod Facebook page. That's where you're going to get Lewis's information, Candy's info, Carrie's, Megan's, mine. You can also find me on pretty much, if there's a podcast on a night that ends in T, then I'll be on it Monday through Friday pretty much. And we love to hear from you. And I'm rushing now because Candy is now 2 minutes late for her next show. You guys have a great night.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Lewis, for coming on.
Thanks,
for all the
Lewis.
people